Greetings, Patrick here, Eight Questions With, and welcome to another edition of Dollar Theater. This one's going to be a little bit different, a little bit fun, and it's going to tie back to an interview that we just recently did. Also, an interview that I did on my blog. So back in the day when I first started doing reviews, being encouraged to do so by my friend Monique and our friend Sean Kane, I decided to try to do that. Try to write reviews. Now, I'd never written a review before. My first review I ever did was Jurassic City, which I had a lot of fun with. And the second interview that I have done, and I think I've done probably now about 1,000 in over 5 or 6 years. My second review I ever did was a movie that I got from the Dollar Theater, from Dollar Tree. So this one actually is a Dollar Tree theater, but I got this over a Dollar Tree, and I came home and I watched it. It was my second interview. So the movie I was talking about, which I got some laughs from, when I did my review, is Seattle Superstorm. Now, I'm going to be real up front honest with you. The movie's a lot better than the interviewer. Going back and watching this and reading my review that I wrote for it, I'm not saying this because I got the chance to interview Jason Borque, the film's director, twice. I think it really was just a case of inexperience on my part. I took it way too seriously, and I thought I was being cute. And of course, back then, when I did do the review, I hadn't interviewed anybody yet. I hadn't interviewed anybody. I just put it out there, and so by the time I got to interview Jason on my blog, him and I had been talking, and we had a nice rapport. He was very kind enough to do the interview, and I thought I owed him the honesty that I wrote for the Superstorm. Now, I'm also not going to lie to you and say that, oh my God, this movie's the best thing since sliced bread, because both Jason and myself both know it was, it wasn't. But I gotta say, despite the bumps and bruises of Seattle Superstorm, still, there's one thing I had to come back to, and that is, it is very well cast. This is a very fun movie in terms of, very strongly casted, by the way. This is a Canadian thriller, science fiction thriller that was made for Sci-Fi Channel. And it's about one family coming together. We have Isai Morales, played Tom Foster. He's a scientist. We have Lieutenant Commander or Lieutenant. That went back and forth. They didn't know whether to call her a Lieutenant or Lieutenant Commander, and that was played by Ona Gruner. She plays Emma Peterson, and of course, anybody who loves horror films knows that she did a House of the Dead. That's probably some of the best, But she's done a lot of films, a lot of TV series, very prolific actually, and stunning as well. We also had Mackenzie Porter, who played Chloe Peterson, Tom's daughter. Mackenzie Porter went from being an actress. She wanted to become an actress, and she ended up becoming a very well known and very popular rising star for Canadian country music. And here, she has opened up for a few bands here, and she has released 2 records, and she has become a very good singer-songwriter. But then again, Canada, right? Home of some seriously talented people. Jared Abrahamson also has gone out to do a very fine career, and actually starred with Mackenzie Porter. They reunited down the road and a Canadian series called Traveler. All right, there's others in here too. So the what's going on with Seattle Superstorm is a Russian missile has been launched. It's carrying a doomsday like weather event, and it causes people to just basically freeze up and dry up and float away, and it's causing all sorts of storms and thunder and lightning and rain. We do see the Seattle Superstorm. I mean, we do see in the Superstorm, it does knock down the Seattle Tower. That happens. You don't know how many times you look at some of these movies like this, you see a big old bombastic cover, and it doesn't even come close to that. It's like somebody's flying a drone. But no, Jason Jason destroyed the Seattle the Seattle the towers. So basically, it's the family is they're all very smart. Tom and Chloe are scientists, and Emma and Wyatt are actually they're actually more hands on. They're more hands on. They're more practical, mechanical, and it actually makes sense, because you got two smart ones, you got two very smart ones, two smart ones, and Tom's going to be marrying Emma real soon. But now the storm has hit, and they only got like 10 or 12 hours to come up with a problem to solve it. Otherwise, the world is doomed. Of course, everything is left up to just the four people. Okay, like I said, I'm not coming back to sit there and say this is the best thing since sliced bread. Yes, there are a lot of plot holes here, but I also want to come back again and sit there and say that this is a common theme for a lot of these sci-fi movies. I noticed this in watching this. They do this a lot, where there's just a family, and a family has to come together to come up and work together to create a solution. And Seattle Superstorm is no different. The effects are what they expect from the Sci-Fi Channel. This was made by Mar Vista. Mar Vista is known to be a low budget producer of film, so there was no money there here really. Whatever money that Jason got for this movie, it was between $1 and $2 million for the effects. The acting is okay. For you got to take it for what it's. We got to take it with a grain of salt. Like having just four people of one random family coming together to be the only people that can save the world. That's a lot of disbelief you're asking of an audience. But a Russian scientist comes up there, and he knows a lot of what's going on, and so he comes over to help out the best he can, and I felt really bad for his character too. Screenwriters Jeff Renfro and David Ray, they show the Russian scientist Dmitry. He comes all the way over. He has come over and lived in the United States for decades, and now this is happening. And the only thing they can do is ask him to go into suicide himself to save the world. That's like you couldn't just wait another like 10 minutes to grab a diving suit to save the guy. Send somebody down there. So our main hero, the guy who actually solves the problem, ends up being asked to kill himself to save the world. And of course, like I said, there's the water is they have two small trucks, and they're going to try to start the rain, because the rain's going to counteract what's going on. And the Russian scientist Dmitry told him that. But then he got asked to jump in the tank, So no, it's not a perfect film, but it is very. I mean, for what it is, it's well acted. Like I said, it's a good cast. I mean, I would, if he told me watch a movie with Esai Morales and Ona Grunner and Mackenzie Porter and Jared Abrahamson, I would do that, no problem. Good acting. Uh, so I want to I'm gonna be take this officially out of the box. Officially, I'm gonna go fix. I should leave that on there as a reminder of how serious I took this. Um, I mean, okay, if you want to know how good this movie is or how bad this movie is, I would watch this before I watch Hereditary. There you go. If you wanted to know just how much did I like this movie, this over Hereditary. There you go. So that is my small review of Seattle Superstorm. I promised Jason Borque I would go back and watch and review it again, and I'm doing this for Dollar Theater, and I want to say that it was a lot of fun, and I didn't take it seriously, and I do appreciate the effort that Jason had to overcome, considering budget wise. Considering the budget, I think he did a fine job with what he was given with. All right, so that's it for Dollar Theater. As you probably already noticed or may not have noticed, I have not been online very much this week. I am taking the month off, so I'm going to be dropping a couple of reviews off during the week, so YouTube knows that I'm still alive and putting out content. Otherwise, I might be I don't know how long I'll be up. I'll probably be Caspering more than anything else. If even that. Yesterday I did, and yesterday I watched movies. Today I'm watching movies. Yeah, we will be back soon enough. Look for us in the middle of February. We'll start be looking to do a Clash of the Titans battle. I'm not sure who we're gonna book up to it yet, but yep. And I'm already going to be starting on February too, as far as guest goes for Eight Questions with. Our condolences to our good friend and fellow ISC Midnighter, Mary Wilson. Her brother passed away a couple of days ago. When you heard this will be a couple of days ago. My heart goes out to Mary and her family. Not an easy road. Not an easy road. The only thing I can say again is at least hopefully his journey was as painless as possible, and you will see him again. That's the only thing I can take out of this is that we will see each other again. You'll see your brother. I'll see my wife. We have to believe that. It has to be a purpose for us being here on the planet. All right, enough of that. Back to Seattle Superstorm. Thanks for watching and reviewing. Let us know what you thought of the film, and if you watched it, tell us what you think about this one. All right, that's it for us. Have a great day, and we will see you next week. Peace.